Welcome back, everybody. So today's the day we finish this thing up. So I just have a couple things left to do. One is the air management. I gotta cut those lines, put those in, mount that down finally. We're gonna turn the system on, fill everything up with air, leak test everything. We just go around it. So if water, hit every single fitting, check all the lines, make sure we're not missing anything or there's any leak or something that we can just kind of correct it now while it's on jack stands and instead of having like an issue when we're out on the road. Other than that, we're gonna get the wheels on and get this thing on the ground. All right, now I'm gonna cut all these hoses to length. I have them lined up in order of which the manifold is, front left, front right, rear left, rear right, and then the tank, and then the exhaust. So I have everything kind of lined up and labeled. This is where labeling comes in, because if not, you'd be, you know, trying to fish these through, and it's such a tight area right here. So what I'm going to do is pretty much take a rough measurement where this is going to sit in here like this, and then I'm just going to kind of trim the hoses a little longer, sit them all in individually, and then move this into place, pushing the hoses kind of down a little bit just to give it some slack so it's not so tight underneath here, because I have everything kind of pulled out all the way. So these will all be trimmed to length, and then I'll put it in here instead of trying to force every little hose down in there because there's barely any room back here. So I'm going to just make some quick measurements, cut these down, start putting them in, and then bolt that up. All right, so I just finished everything up. So you can see the lines around there with the harness. That turned out really nice. Everything is hooked up and ready to get turned on. I just hooked up my drain for the tank. I have it hooked right up into this metal piece here. So whenever I have to drain the water out of the tank, I can just come underneath here, push that up, drain it out. It's so tight underneath the tank, you wouldn't really be able to get underneath there as easy as this is. So I'm glad I went with this setup here. All right, so I just powered up the controller. I just went through the series of like settings and calibration. I did just put some air in the front and the rear. Now I'm gonna kind of leak test everything just to make sure there's no major leaks or anything like that before I set the car on the ground. All right, so I got some soapy water in a bottle here. I'm just gonna spray around these fittings. Get them soaked up real good. The back here. It'll just start bubbling if there's any kind of air coming out. But it's something to check now. Just so we don't miss anything. We'll go spray some around the tank. I did bench test everything, but just to be sure. And we'll give that a couple minutes, see if anything's coming through. All right, so far everything looks pretty good. Just give it a quick once over real quick. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. Even in the tank here. So. All right, now get the wheels back on this thing. You thought you were gonna actually see it today. Unfortunately, you had to wait a whole other week. It's only been like 3 months or so waiting another week isn't really gonna make or break us at this point. I am looking forward to driving the car, and I'm sure you're looking forward to seeing it. So if you enjoyed the video, press like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.